Welcome to Liberty Today with Reverend Edward. We've been looking at an important subject which I consider to be very dear as it expresses the personality of our Father, as it expresses the character of our God. We've been looking at the love of God. In the last episode, we established the fact that God is love, as revealed to us in 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. God is love. And so, if we have become children of God, if we have been adopted into the family of God, and we now have the nature of God, it is only ideal that we also express the same image of our Father. Now, we said that God's love has been expressed all through scriptures, and especially, or at the climax, in the giving of his Son, Jesus Christ, to die for our redemption and our salvation. We also saw that expressing this love is a command. Is a command. And just like it is in every family where you have children that are loyal to their parents, every true child of God must be committed to carrying out this instruction. Jesus Christ said, we should love one another even as he has loved us. We also ended by saying that this love, there are a lot of people out there that feel that this kind of love that God has for us, it's only God that can have it. A lot of people, a lot of believers, a lot of people in church, they still do not think that anyone has the ability and capacity to express the love of God as God has and as God has instructed. But that's not true. Because this love, this very love, is in each and every one of us. Because love is a fruit of the Spirit, and as every fruit is in its seed, the fruit of the Spirit is in the Spirit, and the Spirit is in every believer that have said yes to Jesus and have accepted the Holy Ghost to dwell in them. So we have this love in us. And so all that is left for us to do is to express it. Keep the command, which is that we should love one another. Today we'll be going a step further. Now, it's very important that we understand what this love is. It's very important that we understand what this love of God is. What is the love of God? And so we go to our text. John chapter 13, verse 34. A new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. What is this love? What is the love of God? Let me take your attention to something very important. For some of us that are very good in some of our local dialects, you agree with me that there are some words in your language that you do not have a perfect single English word that you can translate it into. And so because of that, there are a couple of different words in our local languages. But when it comes to translating in English, say like 4 different words. When it comes to English, there's just one English word that we use to represent those 4 or 5 different words. In the same way, the word love in the Bible is not the same everywhere it is mentioned. The word love in the Bible is not the same everywhere it is mentioned. However, because for most of the places it is mentioned, it has the common definition of being great passion and interest in something or someone. Because it shares that general definition, the English word love is now used to represent those different words. The different words that have been translated into love from the original text, the Greek text, especially of the New Testament, there are 4. Eros, Phileo, Storge, and Agape. Now quickly, what is Eros? Eros represents the physical, the sensual, and passionate love. It represents the kind of connection that exists between opposite sex, between a man and a woman. It's sensual, it's physical. It's the kind of love where, if the Bible, where the Bible was talking about the love that Amnon had for Tamar, that was Eros. It's just the climax is about sexual attraction. That's basically what it is. When it comes to phileo represents the friendly, the love that exists between friends, the kind of connection that exists between friends, where each one watches out for the interest and the well-being of the other. A perfect situation that expresses that in scriptures is the kind of relationship that existed between Jonathan and David. So that one has no respect for sex or for gender. It also does not have to be one person. So best friends, you could have a lot of best friends. It's not that connection that exists between you where you watch out for the interest of one another. And then the third one, stage, that represents basically the kind of connection that exists within family. The kind of love that the father has for his child, the brother has for his sister, for his brother, where they watch out for their collective interest and individual interest for the fact that they are family members. That's what is translated when you hear people say blood is thicker than water. That's the connection they're trying to express. That kind of relationship where they watch out for one another. Now the fourth one is agape. And agape is essentially the love of the will. It's a situation where you choose to watch out for this person. You choose to care for this person. You choose. It is a choice. It does not come on you. You will it. You decide to express care and attention for whoever it is that you are loving. So there's these 4 different translations. They can even be divided into 2. Whereas the first 3 have a whole lot of emotions attached to them. Agape is not exclusive of emotions too. Whereas the first 3 have emotions attached to them such that the action of the one that is loved may have a great effect on the kind of connection that the people share. In agape, the emotion comes after you have already made a decision and a firm resolve to care for the person. And so when it comes to agape, it's not about what the person has done or what the person has not done. It's not about what the person looks like or what it doesn't look like. It's not about what the person brings to the table or what the person does not bring to the table. It's not even about whether the person is loyal to you or not loyal to you. It's that you have made a personal decision and a personal resolve to watch out for the interest of these people. That's why many people have called it the selfless love. That's why many people have said it's the unconditional love. Now, this is the kind of love that God has for us. And so you see, that's why we're told that in that while we were yet sinners, we did not do anything to merit the expression of the love. It was a decision, a personal decision. Even the psalmist says, he leads us in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. So it is a personal decision and it is his will to watch out for our interest. Now, this is the kind of love that Jesus Christ is saying that we should have for one another. This is the kind of love that Jesus Christ is commanding that we express for one another. That we make a personal decision to care for the next person to us, to care for our fellow brethren, to watch out for the interest of our brothers and sisters, not because of what we intend to gain, not because of what they have done for us or done to us, but just because it is going to be in their interest. And so you are careful and you are gentle, you are humble enough to observe and to only do the things that you consider to be in their best interest. Note, it is not also that you are imposing your will upon them, but that you are able to observe and do things that you consider to be in their best interest. And so what it means is that while in the case of the other where your own personal interest is key, in this case, the interest of the one that you are loving is key. That is what is essential. And so that is the love that we are called to express. Agape, the love of the will that watches out for the interest of our brothers and sisters, that seeks the good of our brothers and sisters. And so you see, what this means is that it is not possible for us as believers, it is not possible for us as believers to wish evil for our brothers and sisters. Because this command of loving one another requires that we seek the interest of our brothers and sisters. This does not mean that if our brothers and sisters are doing things or have done things that are wrong, we should exonerate them, probably for the consequence of their actions. You must remember that with love, with the expression of love, also comes discipline. Because if you do not discipline someone that has gone wrong, you are not working for the person's interest. If you do not discipline someone that has erred, you are not working in the person's interest. And even scripture tells us that the one that the Father loves, he chastises. So this is the love of God. And this is the love that we are called to express to one another. Till I come your way again, remain ever blessed and remain consistent in his vineyard. God bless you.